With humanity at a crossroads, we wonder whether we'll plunge into devastation or take flight and soar. As our hearts yearn to know our destiny, we turn to the clues and messages left by seers, saints, and prophets of the past. In divine guidance, let's explore their visions and predictions that can help us navigate today's troubled waters and reach the shore of a better, brighter tomorrow. In our previous episode, we learned, according to the legend of the Rainbow Warriors by the independent journalist and healer Stephen McFadden, that a light from the east would come at a time when First Nations people began to rise again, finding strength, pride, and wisdom. We also learned that the early 1990s was the time when signs of their revival began to appear after Supreme Master Ching Hai, vegan, came to North America to give a series of public lectures and meet representatives of the First Nations community, to whom she gave heartfelt spiritual and material support. Based on a Lakota First Nation prophecy seen in a vision by the holy medicine man Hehaka Sapa, or Black Elk, decades ago, the 1990s was a critical period. The prophecy is known as the mending of the sacred hoop. In an interview with Native Voices, Native people's concepts of health and illness, the Honorable Chief Arva Lookinghorse of the Lakota, Dakota, and Nakota Sioux First Nations shares more insights on this prophecy.
The prophecy is that 1990, 100 years later, there's going to be a time when it's called mending of the sacred hoop, where people would come back to the traditional ways and people would once again unite.
Also in the early 1990s, another First Nations prophecy about the eagle and the condor people coming together to fly in the same sky was fulfilled. This prophecy states that after a 500-year cycle from 1490 to 1990 had ended, in which the eagle people, representing the industrial path of the mind, or masculine energy, had overcome the condor people, symbolizing the path of the heart and intuition, the feminine. The two would unite again to create a higher consciousness for humanity. Moreover, one more auspicious sign emerged in the early 1990s. On August 20th, 1994, a white buffalo calf named Miracle was born in Janesville, Wisconsin, USA. She is believed to be the first white buffalo calf born since 1933. As if to affirm this miracle, on June 4th, 2024, another white buffalo calf was reportedly born in Yellowstone National Park's Lamar Valley. The white buffalo calf is deemed a sacred being by the First Nations people in North America. It's associated with the legend of the white buffalo calf woman, vegan. Therefore, the birth of Miracle was perceived as heaven's signal that the divine woman had returned to begin a new era. The white buffalo calf woman prophecy comes from the Oceti-Sakowee First Nation, or the people of the Seven Council Fires, known today as the Lakota, Dakota, Nakota, or Sioux First Nations.
It's said that approximately 2,000 years ago, a beautiful young Native American woman appeared before two Oceti-Sakowee First Nation warriors in the sacred Black Hills of South Dakota. Seeing this young woman as divine, one of the warriors knelt down and prayed. The young woman told this warrior to gather all of his people, and she would return to them with a sacred bundle. Just as promised, she appeared to the Oceti-Sakowee First Nation when a cloud came down from the sky, and off the cloud stepped the white buffalo calf. As it rolled onto the earth, the calf stood up and became this beautiful young woman who was carrying the sacred bundle in her hand. The white buffalo calf woman stayed with the Oceti-Sakowee First Nation for 4 days and taught them their sacred ceremonies, songs, and traditional ways. She instructed them that as long as they performed the ceremonies, they would always be caretakers and guardians of sacred land. She also gave them the sacred white buffalo calf pipe, which still exists today and is safeguarded by the Honorable Chief Arble Looking Horse, who is known as the 19th generation keeper of the sacred white buffalo calf pipe and bundle.
The spirit woman called the white buffalo calf woman, she brought the sacred pipe to our people, and she brought a message of peace and harmony, that we are supposed to walk upon Mother Earth and look at everything upon Mother Earth in a sacred way, because that the Earth Mother is a spirit, and she provides for everything.
According to the legend, as the white buffalo calf woman was leaving, she rolled over 4 times, appearing as a black, a red, a yellow, and finally a white buffalo person. She then walked over the hill as a white buffalo calf. She promised that she would return and bring back spiritual harmony and balance to purify the world. The sign of her return would be the birth of a white buffalo calf. As we discussed in a previous episode on Native American prophecies, the 4 colors that the white buffalo calf woman manifested could mean that this holy woman has 4 races of humans who are supporting her, working hard and diligently with her toward the ideal of uplifting the world. And why is she called the calf? Because a calf is pure and innocent and was a sacrificial symbol in that period of time. Maybe just as Jesus is likened unto a sacrificial Lamb of God to wash away the sin of the world. And she works really hard, as do buffalo and oxen persons. Furthermore, buffalo persons, calves, and oxen persons are all vegan. Perhaps these were the messages she wanted to convey to her followers and the future generations such as ours right now, so that we would be able to recognize her when she returns. One of our Supreme Master Qinghai International Association members shares her inner vision, which confirms that the white buffalo calf woman has returned as Supreme Master Qinghai.
最近拯救世界的工作非常艰困，令我觉得心灰意冷。有一天，当我悲伤地打坐着，突然，师父青海无上师以一位老印第安女人的形象出现了。她披着很宽很长的白色披风，额头上有几条皱纹，看来约莫60岁的人类妇女模样。额头绑着3色的头带，脖子上戴着穿有几颗古老暗红色珠子的原住民项链。我在内在境界里变成一个6、7岁的可爱小孩，向师父单膝跪下，默默无言。师父俯身伸手安慰我，瞬间她又变成一位美丽的印第安少女，双颊闪着绯红的青春光彩。她微笑地看着我，我知道这是 White Buffalo Calf Woman 普特山威，是印第安人拉科塔族和苏族神话中的一名女神。这位女神跟师父的另一位化身埃及伊西斯女神一样，张开的双翼与披风特别庇护小孩与妇女们的权利，是妇孺的庇护神。我们师徒默默无语，师父牵着我的小手，长长的披风拖在绿色的草地上，我们步行在绿草如茵的山区。突然，师父把我一拉，我俩飞翔在美丽的山中，往下俯瞰是一片青翠蓊郁，足以令人忘忧。 我们都露出了微笑。我们像老鹰一般的翱翔。我看到自己的额头上带着黑色的鹰羽。飞翔了一阵子之后，我们降落在一艘独木舟上面。我与师傅一人坐着一端。这是一艘比较大的独木舟，所以可以坐着2人。师傅面色柔和地殷殷开导我，为我解开了很多心中的纠结。然后师傅站起来，白披风以美丽的角度垂在地上。他仰望着远方的太阳，那不是物质的太阳，好亮好亮，耀眼的白光射进了我的智慧眼。内在师傅说，你可以告诉他们，我就是这位白水牛女神。我跪着说，是。师傅赐给我一块刻有古印第安图案的一块陶片，说这个陶块会修复你心中的伤痕，请把它放进去吧。我就把这块陶片放进心中去修复，师傅瞬间就消失了，只留下一阵浓郁的香气。
Supreme Master Ching Hai's close affinity with the First Nations citizens is demonstrated through her profound respect and appreciation for their unwavering faith and deep connection with Mother Earth and the divine. On several occasions, Master has accepted invitations from the Honorable Chief Phil Lane Jr., vegan, founder and chair of the Four Worlds International Institute and Compassion Games International, to speak at online forums, expressing her wholehearted support and praise for this special group of people.
The wisdom of old has never been lost in the community of the indigenous people. And you know well, according to that wisdom, we cannot expect full happiness, full joy, if we cause sorrow to others, including our earth co-tenants, the sweet animal people, and all other beings around us. So my simple message is be vegan, make peace. Greetings of the great First Nations in the world, or the indigenous people, beloved of the creation. I'm very honored to be with you today, but I feel like we always are together, no matter how long, how far the physical distance, because that doesn't matter to the souls. I wish all of you, first of all, the best that heavens can bestow, that your people will always be feeling the love of the divine in your heart, in your mind, and in your soul. I do think of all of you a lot, and often think of how you fare, how God takes care of you, how Mother Nature and Mother Earth offer you all love, good advice, and good necessities for your more comfortable life. No matter how the outer world changes, your traditions, your values, spiritual knowledge, and all that is precious, you have never forsaken. That is a great thing that you keep, which is far, far more valuable than any physical and material possession. And all of you, the First Nations citizens, know all that, treasure all that very well. And I'm very touched and thankful for that.
Supreme Master Ching Hai has also offered loving awards and financial contributions to many indigenous individuals, communities, and organizations over the years. For example, in 2010, former Bolivian President, His Excellency Evo Morales, the first indigenous president of the country, received the Shining World Leadership Award for Compassion from Supreme Master Ching Hai for signing a law to ban the use of all wild and domesticated animals in traveling circuses. In 2011, Master conferred the Shining World Compassion Award and $10,000 to Mr. Lin Yuan Yuan a hunter-turned-mountain ranger of Bunun origin, for his dedication in protecting the black bear and wildlife preservation in Formosa, or Taiwan. In 2015, Master honored the Purepecha people in Chiran, Mexico, with the Shining World Environmental Protection Leadership Award, along with $20,000 in recognition of the community's exceptional reforestation endeavors and restoration of nature to her former glory. In 2017, to assist the flood relief work carried out by a team of our association members in Putumayo Department, Colombia, Master provided $13,000. The Musu Runakuna indigenous community citizens received the requested materials from our team to rebuild their dwellings for traditional gatherings. With gratitude, some of them said that Master is now one of Musu Runakunas and she will always have a special place in their community, especially in their hearts and prayers every day. In 2018, upon learning thousands were suffering from flooding in eastern Malaysia, Master offered $20,000 to assist the relief work organized by our local association members. The fund was used to aid the most affected Aboriginal families residing along the rivers in Marudi, Sarawak. In 2020, Master contributed $50,000 to each of the following organizations: Crossing World's Hopi Projects, the Southwest Indian Foundation, and Restoring Touch, to lovingly support them to care for the Native American indigenous people who are in need, with all love and prayers for their wellness, as well as spiritual upliftment in God's eternal grace. Supreme Master Ching Hai, vegan, is deeply grateful as a humble vessel to the beloved Almighty God for any help bestowed upon His precious children, etc. What's more, Master encourages our Supreme Master television team members to produce regular programs to showcase the rich and beautiful culture, customs, heritage, and talents of global indigenous communities and citizens. Master said to make sure to feature them and others like that in cultural traces around our world show regularly. Master prefers us to feature those ethnicities that were downtrodden and harassed for a long time, should show their whole culture, festive dances, colorful traditions, etc., so that they have a world platform to show their beautiful culture, and so that they are elevated. Tell them to wear their more colorful outfits and let them say what they want about their tradition to give them back some dignity and life. Master mentioned the Bunun people from Taiwan or Formosa, the Cham people from Aulak or Vietnam, any other ethnic communities from Laos, Cambodia, Thailand, and Africa, as well as those in Europe, such as the Gypsies or Romani people, America or First Nations, and Australian Aboriginals, etc. Noting, one by one should feature them in cultural traces around the world show and should feature the most harassed first. The Australian Aboriginals are one example of the most harassed ones, so they should be worked on, researched, and aired in priority. It appears that 2,000 years after bringing the sacred bundle and traditions to the Oceti Sakowin First Nation, the White Buffalo Calf Woman has returned as Supreme Master Ching Hai to lead the Rainbow Warriors in an effort toward world vegan, world peace, and global unity. What will the future of Earth look like if humanity chooses to follow their lead and turn to the righteous way of life? Tune in next week as we share a Native American prophecy about Earth's future by No Wise, an extraordinary medicine woman of the Chippewa First Nation.